Hi, everybody. I'm Chicago intuitive consultant and psychic medium Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, but right now I don't have my Aloha shirt on. The reason I'm doing this video this morning is because yesterday I had this sinking feeling. It was just a horrible feeling. Today is February 24th, 2022. Anyway, I had this sinking feeling. And I went to bed early last night and I had dreams of explosions, bloodshed, all kinds of horrible stuff. I tossed and turned all night. When I got up this morning, I turned the television on. It was 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, and found out that Russia or Putin had indeed invaded Ukraine. On my way to work this morning, I spoke with Linda Grindle, and I also spoke with Kevin Chandler. So they're going to be on my program this evening. We're going to record it at 5 o'clock Chicago time, that's Central Time, which would be, I'm sorry, we're going to record it at 7 p.m. Central Time, which would be 5 o'clock California time and 8 o'clock Eastern time. So Kevin's in the Eastern time zone, I'm in the Central time zone, and Linda's in the Pacific time zone. So I posted on my community board, but I'm posting it now, and I'll keep this video a little bit shorter right now because the three of us are going to do a collaboration this evening about this Ukrainian situation. As I've thought about it, I've been saying all along that during the Trump administration, it all makes sense to me now about the whole thing with Ukraine and Putin and Trump. It just, these light bulbs keep going on in my head. So first of all, if you remember back when Donald Trump made that phone call to the Ukrainian president, wanting the Ukrainian president to lie about Joe Biden, and the Ukrainian president said, absolutely not. And then I think Trump cut a huge amount of money that was supposed to go to Ukraine for military, to help their military stave off Russia. And all of a sudden, a light bulb went on in my head. And that light bulb was, like, I saw this vision almost, that Trump needed a reason, all right, not to give that money to Ukraine. And I am sure that Trump was colluding with Putin, or Putin colluding with Trump, to stop Ukraine from getting that money. And that just happened to be an excuse that Trump could use, not to give the president of Ukraine or Ukraine the money for the military. The other thing is, I had been seeing documents labeled secret and a hand like this handing them over to Putin. And I am convinced that the Trump administration shared some of our top secrets with Putin. I am convinced of that. Now, here again, this is all for entertainment purposes only, but I am convinced, totally convinced. And then all of a sudden, it made even more sense to me, because Putin said he did not want NATO in Ukraine. And remember back when Donald Trump, I'm sorry, somebody's at the door. Remember back when Donald Trump was totally anti-NATO. He was against all of our NATO friends and all of this and all that, and really criticized them and saying that we were spending, like, giving them too much money and all of this and all of that. Now I know why. I'm sorry, I'm back. I'll have to edit this together. But anyway, if you'll remember back when Trump was totally against NATO, and Putin said he did not want NATO in the Ukraine. And the reason for that is, my guides show me, because if Ukraine joined NATO and Putin wanted to invade Ukraine, he would have all of NATO against him. And that's why he was so anti having NATO there. And now it makes sense to me why why Trump was anti-NATO. because if Trump was blasting NATO and underhandedly trying to keep them out of Ukraine, it just opened the door for Putin to march right in. And for a lot of these people who are pro-Putin in this country, specifically Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, who applauds Putin, well, naturally, Trump is an autocrat. He's going to applaud that. It just sickens me that they would even support Russia invading Ukraine. It just sickens me to no end. I think Putin's goal is to try to take Eastern Europe, and it's reminiscent of Nazi Germany when Hitler went into Czechoslovakia under the guise that there were German people in the Czech Republic, and they were being treated poorly. And Putin's doing the same thing, that he says he's protecting civilians, Russian civilians in Eastern Ukraine. That's a crock of bull hockey. Putin has seriously underestimated the Ukrainians. They will fight back, and they'll fight back fiercely. And I see a lot of NATO people helping them out. You know, Putin has also sternly warned that if anybody goes against Russia, which would actually mean if they're helping the Ukrainians fight back Russia, then Putin has threatened them with nuclear annihilation. This man is out of control. And I see him taken down. I don't know if it's his generals or the Russian people, but he will be taken down. And it's going to happen a lot sooner than later. Anyway, I just want to let everybody know not to panic. Who was it that said we have nothing to fear but fear itself? You know, Ukraine is a democratic country, and Putin talked about he's going to denazify it. Okay, during World War II, Ukraine did side with the Nazis, and that wasn't good. But now they do not. They're a democracy, and their president is part Jewish, and he lost people in the Holocaust. So for Putin to say he's going to denazify Ukraine is a crock as well. It's just all misinformation Putin's putting out there, all propaganda. And I see some errant missiles, you know, at some point, you know, doing some harm to America. And if that happens, it's going to be Katie bar the door. I didn't come on this morning to try to scare people. I came on to try to let people know that once again, we all have to stand up and say that we will not let an autocrat, a dictator, control the world. Not Putin, not Trump, not anyone. Our democracy is strong. And you know, Linda Grindle had said something, that something's going to happen that'll bring all of us together. And I think this is it. And this is going to bring even more light against Donald Trump and how he has colluded all along with Putin. And it's not going to be pretty, the things that come out. I still see Trump indicted in New York, but there's going to be a lot more stuff that comes out as well. But let's all stand united for democracy. Ukraine is a democracy. Let's all stand united, because Putin's goal is to take over Eastern Europe. He wants the countries in the old Soviet Union back. And if he goes into Ukraine, there's nothing to stop him from going into the Baltic republics. There's nothing to stop him from invading Poland and going down into Romania. And just like when Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia, then he marched through Poland, and that started World War II. So I think Putin underestimates the Ukrainians, and they are going to fight. Unfortunately, I see a lot of bloodshed and a lot of innocent people dying. So I give my full support to Ukraine. At any rate, on a happier note, I'm not thinking this will end up in a world war. I see it being stopped before it gets to that point, because the world citizens are going to stand up and say, enough. We will not tolerate totalitarianism. I kept this short, so please stay tuned tonight and you'll see Linda, Kevin, and myself. At any rate, I trust you'll have a nice day and I'll see you later on this evening. Bye-bye.